Oh, yeah, this was the other story I was going to talk about. Scoop, the Biden administration has been briefing dozens of TikTok stars about the war in Ukraine. Wait, she's a HasanAbi head, that person. She was briefed as well. Damn, they're out here briefing HasanAbi heads, but not HasanAbi. I see how it is, dude. I obtained audio of yesterday's big briefing, which shines a light on how the administration is promoting their messaging with content creators. What the fuck? It's an interesting story overall, but not surprising. Once again, I will be left thinking we should just have banned TikTok. On Thursday afternoon, 30 top TikTok stars gathered on a Zoom call to receive key information about the war unfolding in Ukraine. National security staffers and White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki briefed the influencers about the United States' strategic goals in the region and answered questions on distributing aid to Ukrainians, working with NATO, and how the United States would react to a Russian use of nuclear weapons. It's pretty funny because, like, listen, the American news broadcasters fall in line pretty fucking aggressively with whatever the State Department's wishes and interests are, with obviously key moments where they separate for like a brief window, right? But the internet is not like that. They can't control the flow of information on the internet in the same way that they can in mainstream media. So they're trying to do their best, but it's always a swing and a miss because there are hundreds of thousands of TikTok influencers, some of which, even if you're not an influencer, you can still pop off on TikTok with a fucking take that's fire. You know what I mean? Like, so there's no way to control that flow of information. You can try as best as you can by like having 30 TikTokers that you talk to and be like, listen, sweaty, like, you know, I'm telling you right now, like, you need to focus on this. You need to remember, like, NATO is great, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, you can't control the flow of information. Some fucking dude is gonna always do some shit like this.
Realize that these gays have no idea what's going on. So I'm like, how can I explain this to them in a way that they'll understand? So here it is. Ukraine is a submissive bottom. Russia is a dom top. They have been in a complicated relationship with each other for a long time, until Ukraine decided that she wanted to be a strong, independent woman, and she left Russia behind in 1991. Okay, that was 30 years ago. Since then, she is doing everything that she can to better herself and be independent, and is trying to join and really wants to be a part of the plastics, right? So the plastic.
I'm gonna be honest, like, when I see videos like this, sometimes I'm like, nuclear holocaust is not that bad. Like, we should literally close the Ukrainian airspace. We should. Like, I watch videos like this, and then I think to myself, we should unironically shut off the Russian airspace in its entirety so they will launch nukes and murder all of us. Myself first. I will kiss the nuke. I will kiss the tip of the mushroom cloud when it comes. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, like, no fly zone, aka, yes, nuke zone. Let's do it. Fucking nuke me up, daddy.
Being NATO. Now, not anybody can just join the plastics. I mean, you can't just sit with us. You actually have to go through a lot, and all countries have to unanimously decide that they want to allow Ukraine to join NATO, which they have been trying to do, and I think they're actually supposed to join in 2024. But that's not a dude. Jen Psaki's like, yes, sis, you're fucking slaying. Russia knows what is happening. So they're like, bitch, you can't leave me and then go join this group and live out your life. Like, I want you back. So that is why the war started, right? So what's going on in the United States and why is our gas prices so high? Well, the only thing that we can really do without actually stepping foot on Russian soil is to put sanctions against them, because we don't feel like they should be making profit and money off of us, while they're invading Ukraine. Now, that has led to the increase in gas prices. Now, we only get like 8% of our oil and natural gas from Russia, which doesn't seem like a lot, but 8 to 10 inches is a pretty good amount. So yes, that is going to lead to the increase in gas prices by about 50%, 50 cents per gallon. But I'm okay with that. Like, I'm over here chilling. I'm like, I'll pay a little bit more for gas. I'll pay a little bit more for my unlimited mimosas than have rockets blasting through our apartments and people dying in the middle of a world war. I mean,
it's like, look, the energy is like, they want to be nice. Like, I think their heart's in the right place. I always feel like their heart's in the right place in this situation. I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, the execution is a little flawed. Okay.
Let's think about that for a minute. Now, we're doing everything that we can to help them, but this complicated relationship is really between Russia and Ukraine. Like, other countries have sent military support and over into Ukraine.
Like a lot of these people, you know, they come across like fucking clout goblins and shit. Yeah, sure. Do people actually watch guys like this to get their info on what's going on in the world? I mean, come on. He has a Triforce in the background. Oh, he's talking about me. Oh my God. I thought he was going to make fun of the guy in the car. And he's like, oh, he's making fun of me, dude. He's like, oh, I have a Triforce. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry that I have a fucking Triforce. Guess what, bitch? I also have a Hylian shield. Suck my dick. And a Master Sword you can't really see. Pretty funny, though. That was a good own. I respect that. But yeah, that's what's going on. TikTok, as the crisis in Ukraine has escalated, millions have turned to TikTok for information on what's happening there in real time. TikTok videos offered first glimpses of Russian invasion, and since the platform has been a primary outlet for spreading news to the masses abroad, Ukrainian citizens hiding at bomb shelters or fleeing their homes have shared their stories of the platform, while dangerous misinformation and Russian propaganda has also spread. The White House has been closely watching TikTok's rise as a dominant news source, leading to its decision to approach a select group of the platform's most influential names. They worked with Gen Z for Change, a nonprofit advocacy group, to help identify top content creators on the platform to orchestrate a briefing aimed at answering questions about the conflict and United States' role in it. Victoria Hammett, Deputy Executive Director of Gen Z for Change, contacted dozens with invitations via email and gathered potential questions for Biden administration. They were distributed. Khalil Green, 21, a creator with 534,000 followers on TikTok, said he wasn't surprised when an invitation arrived in his email inbox. People in my generation get all of our information from TikTok. The briefing was led by Matt Miller, a special advisor for communications of the White House National Security Council, and Jen Psaki, dropping a fucking Psaki bomb. 500,000 is nothing on TikTok. Yeah, Miskiv has 1 million fucking TikTok followers. That's crazy. Anyway, Jules Turpak, a Gen Z content creator who makes TikTok essays about, digital culture. After the call, several influencers said they felt more empowered to debunk misinformation and communicate effectively about the crisis. Biden has increasingly sought online creators to sell major policy initiatives. Yeah, they've been gangbusters too. Like famously, Biden initiatives have been fucking blowing up. You know what I mean? They've just been, I think it's really like some of these guys are great. I mean, I think it's Victoria, right? The one that has like done thirst traps, about me as well. I mean, Jules is a friend of mine. Okay. Jules Suzdaltsev is a friend of mine. You know, like I know some of these people, right? And some of them are HasanAbi heads, you know, and they're great. I'm just saying that overall, it's a failure of an initiative to try and control the flow of information on TikTok. Why wouldn't they contact you though? The White House will never contact me. Why the fuck would they contact me? Don't be ridiculous. Like, anyway, well-intentioned from the White House, but don't think that it's going to be effective in combating misinformation.
Russia's...
Hello. Editor here. Just wanted to share a couple of the TikToks that the creators mentioned made after the White House briefing. Here is one by Khalil Green.
So I just got off of a Zoom call with the White House about the situation in Ukraine. So this was my question. Many people from marginalized communities in the United States have become dejected regarding the situation because there's an imbalance of coverage and assistance given to the Ukraine-Russia crisis compared to other occupations, invasions, and attacks throughout the world, some of which have US involvement. What incentivizes these Americans to be in strong support of the US, giving high levels of attention and direct aid against the Russian invasion, as we feel there isn't enough attention on related issues in other places throughout the world and right here in the United States? So first, I think the best attempted direct answer to what I asked was the first point that they made, in that the invasion in Ukraine is so large that it could have global consequences which would affect everyone throughout the world, including here in the United States. Second, while I'm glad that they acknowledge that other issues, both domestically and internationally, rarely get as much coverage, I think it was a red herring for them to suggest that this was just due to media corporations. Like Biden's State of the Union, which was just last week, was definitely a time where he got to choose what issues would get awareness. For example, he made the decision to go up there and talk about criminal justice by saying the answer is not to defund the police, it's to fund the police. That's just to say that the government isn't helpless to the whims of the media, but they also have opportunities to craft the political narrative themselves. The last thing I'll say is that the answer generally had this tone of, America's doing a lot to help the world, but of course we wish we could do more. However, there wasn't a lot of acknowledgement in what America should stop doing in terms of their connections to occupations, invasions, and general bad faith actions throughout the world.
Here is one by Victoria Hammett. This one may have been before the meeting, but it's funny.
So I've seen a lot of videos about what to do if there's nuclear fallout, which, don't worry, there will not be nuclear fallout. Everything's okay. But in a hypothetical situation where there was, the best advice is for everyone to stay inside their homes for at least 24 hours. Trying to, ideally stay inside your home and not go outside for anything for about a week if you can. Do y'all think Republicans are gonna... No, they wouldn't. Would they? Do you think they're gonna be like... It's my right to go outside. Nuclear fallout doesn't exist. They're lying about the death rate. My daughter has a beautiful face that has not seen the outdoors in 24 hours. This is communism.
Julius Tupac hasn't made anything specifically about Ukraine but does a lot of political/digital media commentary. Ellie Zyler, maybe the biggest content creator in the White House meeting, hasn't posted anything about Ukraine and doesn't seem to post any political content. Marcus DePaola posts a lot of news content with a monotone news anchor type voice. Not sure which of these videos were influenced by the White House meeting, but this creator seems to be posting the most about Ukraine.
Russian forces in Ukraine have expanded their attacks to the west of Ukraine for the first time, attacking key airports. Reporters in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, say they heard loud explosions overnight, while the Ukrainian military took out a Russian electronic warfare system with a drone, and Russians destroyed an ammunition storage place.
Jules Suziltsev, the person behind the account Good Morning Bad News, posts the most in-depth videos on Ukraine. They also claimed in the article that the meeting was too soft. The energy of the call felt like a press briefing for kindergartners.
Russian President Vladimir Putin might be the richest man in the world, running the biggest criminal organization and mafia state in history. Over the last 22 years, he has officially and unofficially ruled over Russia as a dictator through open threats and assassinations against his opponents and critics. Putin's rise to power is marked by allegations of false flag terrorist attacks against his own people, aggressive human rights abuses, and so much embezzlement and backdoor financials that there's evidence he may be worth upwards of $200 billion. Diplomatic cables released by WikiLeaks in 2010 show that the Russian Federation is viewed as, quote, a corrupt autocratic kleptocracy centered on the leadership of Vladimir Putin, in which officials, oligarchs, and organized crime are bound together to create a virtual mafia state. Today, we watch a paranoid, isolated, and elderly Putin flail and lash out at Ukraine, NATO, the West, and even his own allies in the middle of a war that he stands no chance of winning without resorting to nuclear options, which he might. So how did this corrupt former KGB spy come to be the most feared gangster on Earth? Let's dive in.
Anyways, just wanted to add a little on the subject. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching Less Than 3.